Just a little video detailing some of the key points on this bit of a mental car. Apologies for my cat being in view. She just decided she wanted to pop along for this. So, I mean, there's a side profile on a bit of a slant here on the driveway. Classic CLR Alfa, and I've gone with the gold wheels and these Team Dynamic motorsport wheels, Era 16. You can see from this view here, all the arches have been pushed up massively. We're looking at 180mm extension on the rear, and somewhat wider at the front as well. When I first got the car, it had a load of aero kit all over it, which proved impossible getting up into the driveway. You can see it's, well, maybe not on the camera, but it's quite steep to get in there, so it was fouling on the ground, grounding out, so I had to remove it. So in doing so, it's now following the more classic lines. When it was built, I've made some panels, a bit difficult to see, it's quite low down from there. Front end, most of the chrome work, well, all of the chrome work's actually gone. Different lights, different indicators, formerly a race car, so you can still see the towing strap there. I've reworked most of the car since buying it. You can see a big air duct here. I'm going to go into the engine a bit later, but just to give some idea here, there's a lovely piece of fabrication out of aluminium there. I don't know how well this has been picked up, it's quite bright out. Nice carbon airbox here, everything's all one-off fabricated. You can see some of the trouble I've had with the throttle and fuel system linkages. There's, if you look at the clearance here, in fact all the way along between the fuel rail and the ITB, you can see there's very little clearance, and also here as well, it's almost touching. This fuel pipeline going through here is like literally 1mm clearance each side here. I've moved this throttle linkage position effectively about 20mm this way, no sorry, about 70mm this way and about 20mm out in this direction. So that meant all the mounting positions for all of this stuff here, the cable run, that's all been adjusted. The fuel rail used to be inside the airbox just outside the trumpets. I've now fitted this map sensor here, the map sensor canister, where the chamber you can't see it's around the corner here now, but again very little clearance between there and the fuel rail. Injectors were custom to get the right depth here, so I could get the clearance from the throttle linkage again. So it's all a bit crazy what's going on here. There's a reservoir there, remote reservoir for the shocks, expansion tank, all the brake related items there. Lots of bracing, you can see running through it here into this air scoop. Okay, just carrying on around the car. See, it's quite wide from the back there. Exhaust is quite simple, quite quiet actually. It would meet all regulations really. It's not noisy at all until you start putting your foot on the throttle. So, fuel system. You see there the fuel cap itself, that's off of a Saab fighter jet. In fact, there's a lot of, in fact most of the aircraft, or the parts on this are aircraft related, the wiring loom. I'll show you some other aircraft related parts. There's fuel pumps and things in the back there, just while I'm on that subject. So the doors themselves, you can see around the door frame, this is a titanium rod from aircraft. All of the circuit breakers inside the dash, all aircraft, all the wiring looms, aircraft loom, aircraft wiring. I'll get onto the inside in a second. All the windows are perspex. Some knacker ducts here. I've just blocked them off yesterday actually on a test drive, just to see if I can improve the cabin fume situation. In terms of usability, you can see I've added some door pulls there. Wasn't really able to close the doors before, it was a bit of a nightmare. Soundproofed everything, and we're now carpeted inside. 2 seats. Now this car is nothing like a conventional car, there is no key as such. To start it, we've got this connector here. Now this effectively isolates all the circuits, so without this you wouldn't be able to start. So that's in place. Then we've got a kill switch here. Oh, it's in gear, I'm not going to start it, but effectively with fire up all systems. You hear the fuel pumps going now, and then this would be the start switch. So yeah, quite minimalist inside, although my intention is to get this road registered in Germany, so most of the things that would have proven impossible have been removed or replaced or redesigned. It's obviously not really in any way, shape or form a road car, but we're trying to get the best compromise possible to make it road legal. Decals on the top there, I kept this. Most of the decals I've removed from its racing days. And yeah, this side of the engine bay, so you can see custom manifold there. The clearance is really tight. Catch can there, and besides that, it's a relatively stock affair. Okay, the engine's been completely rebuilt. It's got lightweight flywheel and a deep sump. Yeah, it's relatively stock. The engine itself is very strong. I've obviously adjusted all the fueling system or whatever in ITBs at the top there. Big radiator up front. But yeah, there's a little insight. I'll try and do another video at some point from the underside of the car where a lot of the work is.